Actually,
Snake.
I'm going down
Wait,
with the boat.
No, you're not.
You're going down. A captain always goes down with his ship.
We're
gonna
stays
lose-
on the ship, guys.
We're gonna lose the bonus. We're gonna lose the bonus. Hello, everybody. In today's video, we're doing something different. We're playing what I would consider a hidden gem of a game. Back 4 Blood. LMG mounted. And I want to make it clear immediately that this video is not sponsored in any way by Turtle Rock Studios or Warner Bros. If you guys would like to, and if you're listening, you know, you can hit me up. I'm simply making this video now to support a game that I should have supported before. But since I didn't have the balls over here to do variety, I never did. But now I am. And considering the rumors that Turtle Rock Studios is actually working on Back 4 Blood 2, I'd love to help this franchise get any sort of recognition that I can get, because I really like Back 4 Blood.
About to Gus.
And in many ways, for the same reasons that I've always loved Siege. Some of you may wonder what kind of a game Back 4 Blood is. It's, at first glance, a horde shooter with lots of Left 4 Dead DNA in it. Before you Left 4 Dead fans grab your pitchforks, it is different from Left 4 Dead. But it's the differences that's the reason why I like it so much. Back 4 Blood is, when you compare it to Left 4 Dead, a lot more RPG. At least in terms of gameplay. In Left 4 Dead, you're 4 functionally identical survivors, all working with the same tools. But in Back 4 Blood, you will make a huge difference in terms of builds. You can do everything. From tanking, taunting ridden to you, multiple variations of healer builds, a huge variety of DPS builds, and absolutely bonkers utility builds and economy builds, etc, etc, food builds. You get the point. There's a ton. I even have a build which allows me to set myself on fire and deal more damage. And the game puts no limitations on your builds. Any build can run any weapon type, and you can mix and match as much as you want. You can combine any set of perks you want. The build I've chosen for the background gameplay of this video is a build that's based around using economy perks, getting me as much barbed wire as possible, and then using that barbed wire with Tala's passive to apply a stacking bleed. It's basically my Elden Ring build. The characters themselves are similar to Siege Operators. You get 12 unique characters to choose from. They come with various abilities and equipments unique to them, which can then combine with different perk decks, and with that you can make absolutely wild combinations. And this build diversity is something that I'm extremely attracted to in video games. Same reason why I like The Elder Scrolls or Fallout. This is some of my favorite franchises of games, and most recently, as mentioned, Elden Ring. Build diversity adds to the replayability a whole lot, as it allows you to re-experience the game in a different light. The only limitation on fun in Back 4 Blood is your own creativity. And I get it. Some people just like to jump into a game without much complexity and just play. That's absolutely fine. But if you're in the same boat as me, and you love theory crafting and you love breaking games, Back 4 Blood is awesome. And the best part, the game is currently on sale for like $6 to $10 on Steam, and it regularly goes on sale on other platforms as well. And personally, even at full price, I think it's worth it, but discounted, it's absolutely worth a shot. One reason why I think Back 4 Blood did have a commercial failure was due to them hanging on way too much to Left 4 Dead marketing. Back 4 Blood is a great product on its own, and they shouldn't have tried to compare themselves too much to a cult classic. Another thing that made people hesitant to try Back 4 Blood was that there was zero mod support, unlike Left 4 Dead. Modding itself is fantastic, and it can add hundreds of thousands of hours to a game, adding replayability that the base game never had. But Back 4 Blood has that replayability built into the game directly. Back 4 Blood doesn't need modding to be fun. It's good on its own. Another reason why I like it is that as a Siege player, having emphasis on strategy and preparation really hits home in Back 4 Blood. On higher difficulties, you don't want to discuss with your teammates on who brings what to fill out your team or a specific team composition. And if you want to, you can do absolutely bonkers setups before you deal with a horde. But the replay value doesn't stop there. Not only do you have tons of replay value before you've even started a campaign, but within the campaigns themselves, you will come across many different items, places, monsters, and perks that will guarantee each campaign feels unique. This ranges from perks that may enhance your perk deck or move it in a more unique direction. In the current gameplay on screen, with the build I mentioned earlier, we found a perk that gave us incendiary ammo and a perk that allows us to heal when we deal fire damage, turning a run into a pyromaniac's wet dream. But it doesn't stop at perks. You'll also find weapons and attachments of varying qualities, and the map changes each time you play it. And when you're pushing higher difficulties, you'll also be presented with different modifiers, both ones that strengthen special enemies, but also ones that define the entire level itself. Oh, shit. And sometimes even throw a boss in your face. And speaking of that, we haven't even really talked about the enemy variety yet. The common enemy ridden comes in 10 different varieties. They either spawn in select areas that fit their theme, like the charred ridden spawning in the burning forest, or military ridden spawning in the overrun military base, or they can spawn anywhere depending on difficulty. And then we have the specials. There's 6 different specials. 4 of them also have 4 unique mutations, which totals the amount to 18, all adding their spin on each run and the modifiers that will come into play on them. And last but not least, there's the bosses.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Which there are 5 different bosses, 3 of which can spawn on any map depending on difficulty. All of these things add up to the game feeling fresh every single run. No campaign will ever feel the same as the last one. And speaking of campaigns, there's 6 acts available with an average amount of 7 levels each. And one act can take some time. The first act that you're seeing on screen took almost 3 hours alone. And that was one act playing on the second hardest difficulty. And since we are speaking about difficulties, there's 4 of them, ranging from extremely easy on recruit difficulty to literally impossible on no hope. If you plan on attempting no hope, which I'd recommend you do, it's fun, but you're gonna have to plan ahead. And I love that. And just as a minor little anecdote here towards the end of me monologuing about this game, let's talk about the art style. I know gamers tend to be obsessed with a more realistic look, but Back 4 Blood's semi-2D art style looks great in my opinion. And more importantly, it runs great on all platforms. And this art style ensures that the game will still look great many years from now on. And while we're on the topic of art, the game also features cosmetics you can get for your characters.
Do you like my Amogus cosplay?
No.
Get the f*** out of here! And you know what's awesome? They're all earnable in-game by playing. You can't buy them for real money. You buy the game and all of the content is in the game. So yeah, it's not Left 4 Dead. But on its own, it still is a good game that, in my opinion, did a lot of cool things. And I really don't think that Back 4 Blood deserved the amount of hate that it got because it wasn't Left 4 Dead. I get it, Left 4 Dead is awesome, but Back 4 Blood is awesome too. At the end of the day, Back 4 Blood is still a good game that can stand on its own 2 feet. And I mean, hey, it's better than Rainbow Six Extraction.